Good afternoon. Good afternoon. This is Pete from the Property Club, and I'm going to go for a quick drive around the village actually, because I had a few people say to me, "Hey, look, Pete, are there any houses for sale in the estate?" Look, at the moment, there's very few houses. It's kind of like rare as hen teeth to get a house in here for a reasonable price. There are some houses, but they're asking ridiculous money. They're just trying it on, I guess. Oh, this guy's got a few bikes here. Anyway, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go for a drive. I'm going to look for the houses for sale. Here in Subic Bay, there's not much online. You've got to really, hit the streets and look for, sale signs out the front. And I'm going to find those signs and the phone numbers. So if you are interested, you can call yourself and inquire about the homes. All right. Okay, if you're a local and you've looked for property here before, what you'd know is actually the best way to find property here in Subic Bay is the old boots on the ground. Okay, so it's boots on the ground. You can work with brokers, but generally speaking, brokers seem to charge more for the property, whereas if you go and you find an owner direct, so if you go and you find the for sale sign from the owner direct, you're going to save money and you're going to get a better price because you negotiate directly and you barter with the owner direct. That's the idea here, and there's really nothing online, so just want to reiterate that. Nothing online. It's very hard to find anything decent online. I'm already at the end of one cul-de-sac and I found nothing. Very big property this. See the long driveway coming in here. Lots of land. This is not going to be a cheap property, that's for sure. You can see all the land here. This has been for sale for a long time, really long time. I think it's been up for maybe over a year now. I'm not sure the price. Actually, really funny. Today there's heaps of people out walking. Whereas the other day there was no one. You can see the sign here with the phone number if you'd like to inquire. Another look at the house. It's two sides, so you can really build something spectacular. Needs a lot of work by the looks. Could have water damage. I'm not saying that it does, but you can see there, it has been affected by the water by the looks. But you have lots of land. It looks like, maybe at least 2,000 square meters is my guess. But, it just depends, how much of the land is usable. Now I'm up on the upper east side of Kalayaan, and I'm on Greyback now. See what we can find. Okay, this house is for rent. It's a townhouse, and looks okay. You need to really see inside, but look, my advice is before you buy, at least spend a year here and get a feel for the prices and the local area to see if you even like it and want to buy long term, because it can sometimes be hard to sell. It's actually pretty easy to sell in my village, to be honest, but most of the Philippines in general, it can be hard. So that's the number there. Again, it's the same agent for this one, and it's for rent. This house has been newly renovated. Actually, it's only just completed. Nice house. But before it was a real dump. Someone got a bargain because it's next door to a park. Good location, actually. A lot of land. So this house, another townhouse, and it's for sale or rent, so either or. And what you'll notice is when you inquire for certain houses for rent, you'll also find those same houses, many of the houses are also available for sale. So again, same agent. So I think that agent is Merle. Merle has probably the majority of the listings in town, to be honest, and it's kind of always been that way. So you will be dealing with a broker on that one. Yeah, I've seen nothing by owner, for sale by owner. How's that? Been driving through a lot of streets and I've noticed there is really very little for sale at the moment, even for rent in Kalayaan. It is the preferred village. This village is closest to town, to the city, to the supermarket, to everything. Very popular. Oh, that's cool. Look at these two minis and a bug. Brand new GDR R35. I think that might even be the Nismo model. Very cool. Quite a few cars out the front of this home. Wow. This house is for sale. It's seen better days, and it's a very steep driveway, so I'm not too fond of the driveway getting in or out. Does definitely need some work. By the looks, I mean, that roof, what happened there? But anyway, I'm actually having to get out and get the number for you. So yeah, it is for sale. And that's the number 099545800615. That's it. So if you're handy and you're not afraid of some work, you know, renovator's dream, I guess, just need to negotiate and get the right price. Going for a quick walk here. I just want to show you something because, look, like I said, the best way is probably to try and negotiate with an owner direct, boots on the ground. But there is another way, okay? And the other way is to find houses like this. Now, this looks like it hasn't been touched in many years. The way to find these properties, these kind of derelict homes, and when I first moved here, you need to imagine, actually, pretty much all the homes looked like this. Well, not all, like all the houses for sale or, you know, under SBMA control, they looked like this, like they hadn't been lived in for years. And that's the way that, you know, you would get a bargain before. But for, you know, you'd find these renovators, okay, like this one. So you can see the sign. It actually says under SBMA control. So how do you get to this property? What you've got to do is you've got to go down to the land department in Subic Freeport Zone. Talk to the land department and ask them if they have any properties they're looking to move, okay? So actually this is under SBMA control, which means it's owned by the SBMA and they possibly can sell it to you and, you know, issue you a lease up to a 50-year lease. Some leases are 25 years, some leases 50 years, and you know, that's the way foreigners can technically own. Now it's the same for both Filipinos and foreigners can, you know, get one of these leasehold properties once you get it. And the reason why there's so few properties for sale, once you get it, you've got it, and you can actually renew it, okay? So, you know, if you've got a 25-year term, you can ask to renew the 25-year term. If you've got a 50-year lease, if you live that long, maybe you pass it down to your children, and then your children will inquire about renewing the lease with the land department. Because you have control of it, you know when the lease is up, you have a much higher chance, likelihood, to have the first right of refusal and renew the lease. So that's the advantage that you do have. So yeah, definitely check out the land department. I think it's going to be more and more like that. Like I said, when I first came here to the Philippines, and you know, looking around Subic Freeport, you know, many years ago, this place was like a ghost town. It really was. It was kind of like you know, the video that I did recently walking around where there's not many people. Today walking around, there's a lot more people. This is a nice area actually where we are now. This is on the top of the ridge. This house was for sale just a few weeks ago, but I don't see the sign there anymore, and I think it might have sold. Okay, this is a really sizable home. I don't know what it is, and it's been up for sale for at least 18 months, maybe longer, okay? It's been up for sale for a long time. It's in a really nice street at the end of a cul-de-sac, okay? So it is in a really nice street, and it's two sides. So, you know, it probably used to be a duplex villa, and they bought both sides, so it's one big house. So, you know, they've amalgamated sides A and B here, okay? So I'm pretty sure it's for sale by owner if you're interested. Okay, we've found something very interesting. Now, I haven't seen this for sale before. This is definitely a new listing. It's two sides, and they've rebuilt the entire home. It's a beautiful looking home from the outside. You can see it's a bit dark, but wow, big balcony, you know, looks very modern. I like the design. Here's the phone number in case you're interested. Look, this property is not going to be cheap. There we go. I just wanted to stand back and get a bit of a better view for you. But yeah, most houses in this street are mini mansions, McMansions, and really very hard to get into this street actually. So I'm interested to know, even for myself personally, what they want for this property, but my guess is this property is going to be over 20 million peso. All right, so I had a look around. I spent about an hour going through the village. What was interesting to me is there's probably more houses for sale than even for rent. So it's slim pickings at the moment, as you did see, but I only did half the village in the hour that I spent, okay? So I went to Kalayaan East, okay? I didn't get to Kalayaan West today. And the thing about Kalayaan West is you will find that the property prices are a bit better. You know, they're just cheaper, they're more reasonable. You know, if you're looking for an entry-level home, you know, you'll find it in Kalayaan West, probably not Kalayaan East.